Hello, thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about console loyalty. I guess I'll start by saying we're at the end of this console generation. For me personally, my PlayStation 3 collection, I've got a handful of games here in front of me. Just realizing that these games, these are the ones that I've actually purchased, actually played this generation. And it kind of defines this experience that I've had on my PlayStation 3 console. Now, I'm not going to show off my whole collection, but these are essentially Japanese games that have come out in the U.S. That I've taken the time to purchase and play most of them. So we've got Catherine, Valkyria Chronicles. I've actually got a couple of the Atelier games, Mugen Souls, which I've talked about, Bayonetta. And like the Disgaea games, Hakuna Matata did come out here as Africa. I just got it ahead of time. Folklore, it's a really cool game. Final Fantasy 13. The Neptunia games, I do have the first one. Nier, which I haven't played as much of as I'd like to. Kind of the same as Shadows of the Damned, but I did dig into that a little bit. It's kind of fun. Trinity Universe probably could have been a little bit better, but this is, it's neat. And I mean, it kind of gives you a feeling for the sort of Japanese games that have come out here that have caught my interest and what I've gone for, and that's been my experience. I don't think that's too different of a collection than, let's say, what I have for the PS1 or for the PS2. A handful of maybe like 20 core games that are really good. So, that's probably pretty close. But let's take a look at my PSP collection. Phantasy Star Online Portable 2. Okay. I was on a Phantasy Star Online nostalgia kick. Did I say online? This is just Phantasy Star Portable 2. But I was on an online kick, and that's why I picked that up. And then this game. Now, this, that's my entire PSP collection. This is what sort of clued me into the fact that something was really wrong with this. I was at GameStop, and they had this, used, but it was complete. It was in the box, and it was $15, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, now wait a second, why was I not really excited about this? When it first came out, why am I sitting here looking at a used copy for $15 going, yeah, I guess I could probably get that, I should have been really excited about this. I mean, I really appreciated what Type Moon did with Tsukihime. That was amazing. And if Type Moon stuff is being localized for the US, I should be all over that. So what this represents is something that happened, is that I was not watching portable gaming this generation. Now, in my defense, I don't consider myself really a portable gamer because I just game at home, and it seems silly to game at home with a portable system. I can understand for maybe kids where the parents don't want them gaming on their big TV, or they don't want to have a TV in their room, or they can give their kid a portable and they can play it in their room, or they can take it to school or on trips or whatever. But for me, as an adult gamer, I like to game on my console. But Japanese developers this generation, they've had some trouble stepping up to the plate to do console games. I think the team size that it requires, probably some of the technical knowledge that the coding for the new console generations require, and just the budgets and the money that are required, I think Japanese studios are really struggling. And instead, what they're doing is they put out a bunch of stuff on portable systems, and this went completely under my radar. I just missed it. I totally was not paying attention to that. So what it had me do is start looking at, well, what's going on with Japanese gaming on portables now? And from what I've heard from TGS, it's been the Vita and the 3DS. That's, again, this generation, kind of for me right now. the Japanese developers are just jumping all over that stuff. So it got me thinking a little bit too. I just picked up Pokemon Puzzle League for the N64, and I had some fun playing it. There's a study that was done. They had people choose between like some equally valuable, equally appealing things. So I think it was like they did like a sort of a pseudo part of the study, and then what the real study was is you had to choose between like these 3 different posters. So I don't quote me on what their methodology was, but I think that they kind of had people rate like what like how interested they were in each thing, and then they made them pick one and kind of had them do the same thing after they'd picked them. And what they found was that, statistically significantly, people really, just the act of them having chosen something between 2 things that are kind of equally, like two cups, these 2 things where it doesn't really matter, but let's say I choose this cup. Suddenly I'm like, well, I could have drunk out of either of these cups, but this one has a handle, so handles are probably a desirable thing to have on cups, and it's opaque, and I can drink hot or cold things out of this. You start rationalizing your decision about and justifying the decision about picking between 2 different things that really, even when you were making the decision initially, were more or less equal. And I think that happens with video game consoles and video game companies. And I think it sort of causes this loyalty. So I put these 2 things together and I said, well, what is going on the 3DS right now? Because I just ignore Nintendo. Because as far as I'm concerned, they don't really cater to me as their audience. But in a way, I think I've just chosen one thing over the other, and it's caused me, they're both game systems, portable or not, that you can play fun games on, and I think I've sort of been doing the poster thing or the cup thing from my example, where I've been kind of just justifying one is better than the other. I'm probably going to get a Nintendo 3DS. The 3DS has some kind of interesting stuff on it. I read about Code of Princess, which seems really cool. It's a 3DS exclusive. I read about, Revelations, of course, for the Resident Evil game. And after having played 6 and, been a little disappointed with it, I'm kind of wondering if Revelations might be a better game. From what I can tell, everybody seems to say that, hey, it's pretty cool, and it might be the better of the 2 kind of current Resident Evil games, so I might check that out. And it's interesting and just feels a little bit weird going, hey, it almost feels like I'm admitting like I was wrong or something, but I'm not. I'm just kind of admitting like there can be fun games on more than one game system. This is kind of a no-brainer. I might even get a Wii U too. We'll see how it goes. But again, it's a game system, and there are going to be fun games on it, I'm sure. And I can't play Nintendo first-party stuff unless I have a Nintendo system. So I might even check out some of that stuff. I don't know. But I would be curious to hear if you yourself have found yourself in a position of being a company or system loyalist. Has anything sort of prompted you to put that aside and really check out another thing and get into it? I mean, I think I'm making kind of a bigger deal about it for me than it is, because I own tons of different systems, and for the most part I'm not like, this system versus this system, but I am, in a way. I really have felt like, oh, Nintendo is over there, and I'm over here, and they're not serving my needs. But I think that, it's just Japanese developers release games for those systems that they aren't gonna for other systems, and I miss out on stuff if I don't take advantage of that. So I want to be a little more open-minded about that. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry that this went on for a while. But I really appreciate you joining me, and I hope you'll join me again for some more Japanese video gaming related videos. Hopefully I will have some cool footage of, some actual gameplay from a review or something cool coming up here soon. So I'll catch you next time.